Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Topical Economics. Today we are diving into the topic trade unions. We will be mastering this topic by reviewing multiple choice questions from the past years. This topic has been a part of your Cambridge IGCSE Economics curriculum, paper code 0455. Our aim is to excel in economics, one topic at a time. So grab your notes and let's get started. Coming to our first question. This is from November 2003. Let's read the question. In what circumstances are trade unions more likely to be effective in wage negotiations for their members? The options are an economic boom, a recession, a period of declining productivity, and the last option is a period of rising unemployment. Now, when we look at this question and when we look at these options, we should understand that during an economic boom, firms are going to have higher profits. So they will be more willing to negotiate wage increases, making unions more effective in their demands. So the answer for this question will be option A, an economic boom. Let us come to the second question. The second question is from June 2003. Let's read the question. Which trade union action is most likely to have harmful effects on the productivity of a firm? The options are acceptance of a new technology, agreement to a bonus system, opposition to planned redundancies, and last option is participation in a profit sharing scheme. Now, when we look at this question and look at the options that we have, when we say acceptance of new technology, it's always good. It's not harmful on the productivity of firm because technology enhances the productivity of a firm. Agreement to a bonus system, again, that will enhance the productivity of workers and that will also further enhance the productivity of a firm. When we look at the third option, opposition to planned redundancies. So these opposition to planned redundancies can lead to strikes or other forms of action that may disrupt operations, thereby significantly harming productivity. So the answer for this second question is option C, opposition to planned redundancies. Looking at the last option, option D, participation in a profit sharing scheme. Again, if profit is being shared, then the productivity will be higher. So the productivity of the firm will increase. It will not have harmful effects. So looking at all the options, we see that option C suits the best, and that's how we know that's the answer. Looking at the third question, the question is from June 2003 again. In a country, male workers on an average earn more than female workers, although male and female workers receive equal pay for equal work. What could explain this? Option A, female workers are more experienced. Option B, female workers are more likely to achieve promotion. Option C, male workers are more likely to be in trade unions, and option D is male workers have fewer qualifications. Now, looking at these questions, when we look at male workers and when we compare them with female workers, if male workers are more frequently presented in the trade unions, then they may negotiate better wages or benefits, leading to higher average income as compared to female workers. So when we look at male workers, they are very good in representing trade unions, negotiation of wages, benefits, and because of that, we can say that option C is the right answer. That is, male workers are more likely to be in trade unions. Let us read fourth question. In 2002, the trade union representing workers on the London Underground public transport system called a strike. which condition would make a strike least likely to be successful? Option A is the demand has to be met at a certain time. Option B, the product or service is regarded as a necessity. Option C, the union represents a high percentage of the workforce. And option D, there is a wide range of alternative services. So when we look at this question and when we look at the options that they have given us, we know that if consumers are going to have many alternatives, they may not be affected by the strike. So reducing pressure on the employer to concede to the union demands will be done if there is a wide range of alternative services available. So this option D is the answer that would make the strike least likely to be successful. Because if there are many alternatives, then there's not going to be any use of the strike. Like the strike is going to have no consequences. Hence option D. Coming to question number 5. This has come in November 2004 as well as in June 2006. What is usually a function of a trade union? Option A, it advertises the products that these members make. Option B, it appoints company employees. Option C, it negotiates with employers for increased wages. And option D, it negotiates with suppliers for reduced cost of materials. Now, when we look at the options, we know that a trade union does not advertise products, they do not appoint company employees, and they do not negotiate with suppliers for reduced costs of materials. So the answer for this question number 5 is going to be option C. That is, it negotiates with employers for increased wages. Question number 6. Again, this is from November 2004. When will a trade union be most effective in pursuing its members' interests? Option A, the economy is in recession with rising unemployment. Option B, the employers have few orders for the product. Option C, the government passes a law to increase competition in the labor market. And option D, the members' wages make up a small part of the total costs. Now here, when we look at what will be the most effective in pursuing members' interests, like when will trade union be most effective? For this, when wages are going to be a small part of the company's overall costs, the employers will be more willing to grant wage increases without significantly affecting their profitability, because it would not matter for them. This will create an environment where unions can negotiate effectively. However, if wages represent a large part of costs, then the employers might resist increases more strongly, especially in tough economic conditions like recessions or low orders. So here, when they say when will trade union be most effective, looking at the options, the answer would be option number D. That is, the members' wages make up a small part of total costs. Coming to question number 7. What might explain why wages paid in a particular occupation are high? Option A, a strong supply of labor. Option B, a low price for the good produced. Option C, a strong trade union. And option D, a pleasant working condition. So when we look at these options and we see the question, a strong trade union can negotiate better wages for its members through collective bargaining. Unions can leverage their collective power to secure higher pay, improved benefits, and better working conditions. When you look at factors like low supply of labor or high demand of goods, then these could lead to higher wages. So here a strong union is a direct influence on wage levels through negotiation. So for this question and the options that they have given, the answer would be option C, that is a strong trade union. Coming to question number 8. What is least likely to be a function of a trade union? This is from your June 2005. Option A, improved working condition. Option B, reduced cost of labor. Option C, representing members' interests. Option D, securing adequate pay for members. So here, trade unions primarily focus on advocating for workers' rights, improving wages, and ensuring better working conditions rather than reducing labor costs. So while they may negotiate for efficiency or changes that improve overall profitability, their fundamental role is to protect and promote the interests of their members, not to lower labor costs. So the answer for this question will be option B. Reducing the cost of labor is least likely to be a function of a trade union. Coming to question 9. This is from November 2006 and June 2007. A trade union is negotiating a wage rise for its members. What will increase the chance of the wage rise being granted? Option A, the company's product has many substitutes. Option B, the economy is entering a period of recession. Option C, the government has made a strike action legal. Option D, wages are a small part of the company's costs. So here, this is similar to the question that we saw like few questions ago. Same, if wages are going to represent a small portion of the total costs, then employers will be more likely to approve wage increases without significantly impacting their financial stability. So if the economy is entering a recession, or if the government has made strike action illegal, then these factors would likely decrease the union's bargaining power, and this would decrease the chance of wage rise being granted. So answer for this question will be option D, that is wages are a small part of the company's cost. Question number 10 is from November 2007. What is the main purpose of a trade union? The options are to achieve profit maximization. Next option is to encourage free trade. Next option, to promote private ownership of industry. And the last option is to protect the interest of its members. So this is a very clear question. The answer will be to protect the interests of its members. So the primary goal of trade unions is to advocate for the rights and interests of their members, ensuring fair wages, safe working conditions, and overall better employment terms. So they aim to enhance the welfare of workers rather than focusing on profit maximization or other economic theories. So the answer will be option D. Coming to 11th question, this is again from June 2007. The first worker in each pair of workers below is usually paid more. In which case is this not likely to be the result of the first worker's greater value to the firm? Option A, a worker in a trade union compared to a worker with no training. Option B, a worker with training compared with a worker with no training. Option C, a worker with supervisory responsibilities compared with a worker with no responsibility. Option D, a worker with years of experience compared with a worker with no experience. Here, while unionized workers may negotiate better wages, the comparison here does not directly indicate a difference in the value to the firm, especially in terms of training. The first worker being in a trade union does not inherently make them more valuable than a non-unionized worker without training. The other comparisons which are given, that training, supervisory roles and experience, directly relate to the value that enhances productivity and effectiveness in the workplace. So the answer for this question is answer A, option A, that is a worker in a trade union compared with a worker with no training. Coming to question number 12, this is from June 2008. What is not a function of a trade union? Option A, to act as a pressure group to change labor laws. Option B, to negotiate with employers over conditions of work. Option C, to promote the sales of products made by its members. Option D, to protect the living standards of its members. So here, what is not a function of trade union? So trade unions do not typically engage in marketing or promoting sales of products. That is usually the role of management or marketing departments within a firm. What trade unions do is they primarily focus on protecting workers' rights, negotiation of wages and working conditions, advocating for their members' interests. So the answer for this 12th question will be option C, that is to promote the sales of products by its members is not a function of a trade union. Coming to question number 13. In which situation will a trade union be least likely to be effective in supporting the interests of its members? This is from November 2008. Options are option A, the economy is experiencing an increase in unemployment. Option B, the firms have a large increase in demand for the product. Option C, the government passes a law weakening the powers of the employers. And option D, the workers' wages are a small proportion of the total costs. So here, again, this is similar to what we have done earlier also. So when we have periods of rising unemployment, the bargaining power of trade unions diminishes as there are more workers than the available jobs. So the employers may be less inclined to negotiate wage increases or better conditions, knowing that they can easily replace workers. Conversely, increased demand for a product or a government law strengthening workers' rights would enhance a union's effectiveness. So the answer for this 13th question, that when will trade union be least likely, when will it be least likely to be effective in supporting the interests of its members, answer will be option A. That is when the economy is experiencing an increase in unemployment. Coming to question number 14, this is from November 2009. The workers in a company belong to a trade union. Which change might the union use to support a claim for an increase in its members' wages? Option A, a decrease in demand for the company's product. Option B, a decrease in the rate of inflation. Option C, an increase in the company's profit. Or option D, an increase in the supply of workers. Here, if a company is experiencing increased profits, then the trade union can argue that the company has financial capability to grant wage increases. This makes a strong case for raising wages, as it indicates that the firm can afford to pay its workers more without jeopardizing its financial health. Other options like decrease in demand or inflation would not support a wage increase claim? So for this question, the answer would be option C, that is an increase in the company's profit. Reading question number 15, this is from June 2010. What is a function of a trade union? Option A, to negotiate workers' contracts. Option B, to promote workers to more responsible jobs. Option C, to recruit workers for the firm. Option D, to supervise the workers in the firm. Again, this is a very straightforward question with the options that they have given. So one of the primary functions of a trade union is to negotiate contracts on behalf of its members, again, which include wages, benefits, working conditions. So all this is collective bargaining process, and this is central to the union's purpose. However, options like promoting workers, recruiting for firms, or supervising workers are not standard functions of a trade union. So the answer for this is going to be option A, that is to negotiate workers' contracts. Number 16, this is from June 2011. What is the main purpose of a trade union? Option A, to achieve profit maximization. Option B, to encourage free trade. Option C, to promote private ownership of industry. Option D, to protect the interest of its members. So here, the fundamental purpose of a trade union is to safeguard the rights and interests of its members. Again, this is like going to be negotiating for better wages, job security, safe working conditions. So unlike the other options which focus on broader economic or political objectives, protecting members' interests is the core mission of any trade union. So the main purpose is to protect the interests of its members. Coming to question number 17, this is from November 2011. A group of workers in a firm join a trade union. What would the union be expected to do? Option A, arrange for labor-saving technology to be introduced. Option B, discuss safety issues in the workplace with the employer. Option C, ensure job security by promoting the firm's products through advertising. And option D, negotiate new contracts with major buyers of the firm's products. So here, trade unions are primarily focused on advocating for their members' rights, which includes addressing workplace safety. So they negotiate with employers on behalf of the workers to improve conditions and ensure a safe working environment. Arranging for labor-saving technology or promoting products is typically outside their scope, and negotiating contracts with buyers is more related to the management side. So the answer for this question will be option B, that is discuss safety issues in the workplace with the employer. 18, this is from June 2012. What might be an advantage to a trade union when arguing for an increase in its members' pay? Option A, an increase in imports of a similar product. Option B, development of new and profitable brand of the company's product. Option C, development of new machines requiring fewer workers. Or option D, the establishment of a local college providing training. So if a company develops a new and profitable brand, it likely indicates increased revenue and profits. So this financial success provides a strong basis for the union to argue for higher wages, as the company can afford to pay its workers more. In contrast, when you look at the other options, either they do not relate directly to the company's profitability, or they imply negative conditions that would weaken the union's bargaining position. So the answer for this question would be option B. The development of a new and profitable brand of the company's product. 18th question is from November 2012. Let us proceed. What could reduce the ability of a trade union to gain a pay rise for its members in a shoe factory? The options are: option A, an increase in sales of shoe exports; option B, a rise in demand for shoes; option C, a rise in the productivity of shoe workers; and option D, more people willing to work in the shoe industry. Here, when there are more individuals willing to work in the shoe industry, the supply of labor increases. This can lead to a greater competition for jobs, which may weaken the bargaining power of the trade union. Employers might not feel pressured to grant pay rises if they have a larger pool of potential employees to choose from. This situation can lead to stagnated wages or even reductions in wage growth, as workers may be more willing to accept lower pay due to the abundance of job seekers. So the answer for this question, what could reduce the ability of trade union to gain a pay rise for its members? The answer would be option D. That is, more people willing to work in the shoe industry. Into question number 20. This is from November 2013. A worker's choice of occupation can be influenced by wage or non-wage factor. What is a non-wage factor when choosing to work in an industry? Option A, bonuses paid for increase in productivity. Option B, changes in hourly rates for items produced. Option C, financial rewards for length of services. Option D, opportunities for promotion and advancement. Here, opportunities for promotion and advancement represent non-wage factors because they pertain to career development rather than direct financial compensation. Workers often consider factors such as job satisfaction, personal growth, and career prospects when choosing a job. Non-wage factors can be significant in attracting and retaining employees as they contribute to overall job satisfaction and long-term career goals. So the answer for this question will be option D, opportunities for promotion and advancement. Question number 21. This is from November 2013. When will a trade union find it easier to achieve higher wages for its members? Option A, when consumers demand more of the product made. Option B, when the company has a decrease in the profits. Option C, when the cost of raw materials increases. Option D, when unemployment increases. Looking at all the options, when consumer demand for a product increases, companies often experience higher sales and higher profits. This financial health allows companies to consider wage increases for their employees. In such conditions, trade unions can leverage the strong market position to negotiate better wages, as the company is more likely to have the resources to meet those demands. In contrast, when you look at decreased profits, rising costs, or high unemployment, these would typically hinder the union's ability to negotiate higher wages. So the answer for this question that is most suitable will be option A, when consumers demand more of the product made. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video on trade union helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel Topical Economics for more content. Your support means a lot and helps us grow together in our understanding of economics. See you in the next video.